Hi, I'm Annette Marcus, and I'm welcoming you to AIB's It Tastes Jewish. And if you have any questions or would like to see the recipes, you could check out www.aibtv.com/It Tastes Jewish. Welcome to It Tastes Jewish. Today, we're going to have such a great time because I have Rabbi Mario Karpuj and Rabbi Brad Levenberg here with me today to start cooking Knish. And Knish is made from a wonderful thin dough that we're going to roll out, and we're going to fill it with a potato and onion filling. Some people might think Knishes are reminding them of empanadas because they're like a little dough filled with some vegetables or cheese, or you can do meat, whatever you like. But we're going to fill ours with potato and cheese, and we're going to first make our dough, and then we're going to make our filling, and then we're going to roll out the dough, stuff them, and bake them. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing that we're gonna do is make our dough. So we're gonna put our flour into our Cuisinart, and we're gonna also put in our butter. And Rabbi, you could open this butter up, and we're gonna take only 6, go ahead and just dump that in. We're gonna only take 6 tablespoons. So we're gonna cut off 2, and we're gonna cut them into tiny little pieces. And in the meantime, you could be putting our shortening in. And you can just scrape all that into the cuis.
Put it in one spot, or
it doesn't matter. It'll grind.
It really cuts like butter.
Yes, it does. Nice cold butter. That's got it. Okay, and the next thing we're going to put in.
I'm glad you made the joke.
I know. A drop of salt. Very good. And the little small squares. Yep. And then we're going to just throw those in there. You got it. And you may have to use, if you like to use this or whatever to get it, whatever you like to touch.
Beautiful. Yeah,
okay,
nice.
good. But just drop them all in at once.
At once?
Yeah, pick up the paper, pick up the whole paper and plop it in. Technique number 4.
Yeah. Good.
Good. Okay, now we're going to put the top on the cuis, and we're going to give it a grind. Okay. And come over here and give it a pulse. Come on this side.
I'll do it, yeah.
Come on this side so we can see you.
On or pulse?
Pulse, and you'll see it'll start to get coarse. That's good. Okay, now I'm going to add water a little bit at a time.
White smoke.
I know, because there's no top on it. Okay, so I'm going to put in a couple tablespoons at a time, and we'll see how much we need until the dough starts to hold together. Okay. Okay. All right, you're done. Great. Okay. I'll give that to you. And now we're going to take the dough out of the cuis and make it into a nice little patty. And you could use this to do it. Just take the dough all out and push it all together into one. And we're going to take a piece of wax paper, and we're going to wrap our dough in it and put it into the refrigerator for about an hour so that it gets nice and chilled. But don't worry, since I know you want to roll out the dough and you can't wait, I happen to have some nice and chilled. There you go. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, thank you. You can make a little nice little patty out of it. Kind of like a disc, like you'd make a disc. And then we'll put it into it so it's nice and even. And then when we chill it,
touch it or
you can touch it. Either way you want to do it. You have nice, clean hands. And kind of round it around, and that'll make your rolling much easier. Okay, so now we're going to set ourselves up for.
Looks like a nice patty to me.
Yes, that's right. And then we'll put that in the fridge. Let me move this over here. Thank you. Okay, and I think what we'll do is make our potato filling before we do our. Good. We just wrap it up and we'll put it in the fridge. Okay. Now we're going to make our potato filling. First, we have to peel 2 potatoes. So here is the potatoes, and here are your peeler. And you could just peel the scrapes right into here. And then we're going to boil the potatoes and get them nice and soft. So, who's on?
Well, we look at each other and saying, like, please.
I'm happy to do one.
After you.
Somebody do it.
The peels go in the smaller.
Yeah, you can just put them in that little bowl just to get rid of them, that's all. Is your peeler going nicely?
Yeah. You're doing beautifully.
I don't actually know how to use a peeler.
Oh, well, let me instruct you. There you go. See?
You know, in my prison days, we just had to use a knife.
Understood. There, you're doing great. And the thing about the potatoes is you always want to get every little tiny brown part off because nobody wants to have that bite with that little brown piece in there. So you just move it around. And what we also do is while you are peeling 1 potato or 2 potatoes, you put them in some cold water, and then the potatoes don't turn brown or black. Mm-hmm. So we'll put a little water in this bowl. And we'll set the potato in here after you get it done.
All right.
Good job. Okay, now you can do your cutting of this one while the Rabbi is peeling his.
Great.
Okay, so here's your
So
cutting board.
ordinarily drop it in there.
Yes, but since you could drop it in there just to rinse it, to give it a little rinse. That's good. And then dry it off a little bit because otherwise it makes it
That was not nice.
it makes it
Laughing at your colleague because he doesn't know how to.
it's good to dry it off because it doesn't wiggle on your cutting board. All right, so now you're just going to cut it into like little squares. You know, not mini squares, but like cut the potato.
Same size as the butter?
It's bigger. Like just cut the potato down. And then you can cut each piece in half again. That's good. And then you can cut it long ways again because you want to get uniform pieces so that when you boil the potatoes, they all boil at the same rate. So you don't want one piece too big and one piece too small. Very nice. Okay. Great. All right. Here's your towel. Okay. Now you can put your potatoes into the pot, and we'll cut yours. And we'll turn it on to boil. Good. Turn it down just a drop, so. There we go. Good.
Like this?
Perfect.
Good.
Okay. Cutting board technique. Okay. Now, great. Okay, I have here some already peeled potatoes, and we are going to put them through a ricer. And a ricer is a wonderful, wonderful gadget for making mashed potatoes. And you can see that it has little blades, and you can move them around to whatever size you want your vegetable to be. So since we want mashed potatoes feeling like nice and soft, we're gonna put it on the smallest grate that there is. So we take this like this, and we use this goes up. We take a spoon and put in just to the top, and then you use your man power or woman power and push, and they will come out.
I totally remember doing this as a kid.
Honestly?
Absolutely.
This is so good.
Yeah, Play-Doh.
But I don't think that. No, actually, potatoes. But I don't remember the adjusting.
The blade.
Yeah, I think that there was only one. It was only for potatoes.
Only
So,
for potato. Okay, understood.
I have my good share of potatoes.
Understood.
Look at this.
Isn't that awesome? Great. Now we could use this spoon and we can just get that little bit off, and then you can
Nicely
go different.
done.
Yes.
I think that you should try it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But mine's going to be more difficult because there's already potato residue there.
Yeah, I think
I'll have to use a little bit more strength
right.
than.
But thank God you have all your strength with you today.
That's
so,
right. You brought it. That's great. And then you can just use this spoon right here to get that last little drop off. And the thing about the ricer is, the good thing is, it cleans very beautifully, but it's good to clean it as soon as you possibly can so nothing sticks. Okay, but we'll drop it in the sink for today.
I think that it's the conservative rabbi's job to clean the dishes.
We'll see what happens. Okay. That's great. Okay, now the next thing that we're gonna do is add some feta cheese. And we can, if you want to use your hands, you can. If you'd rather put a glove on, you can. If you'd rather cut it, you can. But we're just gonna put these feta cheese into the potatoes. What would you like to do?
Well, it's hands-on, right?
Go for it.
Hands-on, yeah.
And you just take it in your hand and just crumble it, like you are gonna be crumbling sand. But you don't want it to be so teeny tiny that you lose the texture. So just go and I'll say. Just a little bit, pieces at a time, and crumble
I
them.
literally heard 2 weeks ago a chef, an Israeli chef, talking about cooking with her hands and says, I never use gloves because I
Gotta get
wash my
into it.
hands, but then it's
That's right.
hands-on.
Absolutely.
You need
There
to
you
feel
go.
the texture.
Yes. You know a lot by feeling the texture of something, for sure.
Well, I don't know if this feels right or not right, but it feels messy.
Yes, messy
Which is
is for
great.
sure. I know. It's a lot of fun. Now, you could use cream cheese, you could use feta cheese, goat cheese, anything you wish. You don't have to use feta. You could use ricotta, whatever you like. The filling is whatever taste you enjoy. So if you don't like feta cheese, then pick something else.
Right.
It's just that simple.
But do you need to use something besides just the potato?
No, you can use onion or just
I grew up with onion and
Onion.
potato, and that was it.
These are caramelized onions. And the way that you get them nice and brown like this is you chop them really quickly in the quiz, and you put them in a big saute pan with some oil on the bottom, and you cover it over and let it sit for about 20 minutes. And then it'll start getting a little bit brown. Then you take the top off, add a little bit more oil, and just keep going for another 20 minutes or so, and then get this beautiful golden color, and they got a little bit of sweetness to it. So we're gonna add the onions. And if anybody wants to chop these little scallions for a little color,
I'll do the chopping.
yes, please. It will look pretty in the potato.
Really small or
Yeah, teeny. Teeny is really good.
like?
As small as
This is-
possible, even smaller if you like.
Okay.
And in the meantime, we could add a little bit of pepper. And we don't need too much salt because the feta's got the salt in it, but we'll taste it and decide. So in the meantime, you could mix,
Mix?
please.
All right.
Don't try this at home.
I don't know. I'm glad my wife's not watching right now
Yeah.
because this is easy enough that I actually could try this.
I know. It's great. Okay, now what we're gonna do also is just add a teeny tiny drop of oil. This is vegetable oil, just to give it a little bit of softness. Okay. We'll need this in a minute. So you can stir it by moving it around from the bottom, like a little bit like you did the egg whites, because this way you don't have to mush everything and it still maintains its texture.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's drier.
I think we'll put about half of those scallions in there.
No?
Yeah. That's good. That should be a good amount. Okay, and then we'll mix it up again, and then we'll be ready to start on our crust. Good job.
Let's chop it.
Looking good.
I know.
Thank you.
Okay, so how about
Nice
a little,
mixing.
let's get a little
Thank you.
taste and see if we think that it needs any salt or anything like that. It might need salt, we don't know.
We're trying this?
Yes, please. Give it a little try. Try to get all the ingredients, like make sure you get a scallion and an onion and the cheese, otherwise you don't know what it tastes like.
Wow.
Flavor?
Yeah. Okay.
That's good.
I mean, I maybe a little
A little drop
salt,
of
but
salt.
that's it. Yeah.
Little drop of salt?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get a little pinch. Okay, we're ready. Now, you ready for the dough?
We can go for another taste then.
Help yourself.
So now we added the
Now you
salt, so I
have a
feel
clean
like we have to
fork.
try it again.
Absolutely. Clean spoon, clean fork, go again. Okay. Now we're going to keep this out here because we're going to need that for our dough. And I'm going to get our dough that's been refrigerated for about 1 hour.
Good. Absolutely.
We got it?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Totally.
Good.
Good call on the salt.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now, we are going to roll our Knish dough on this silpat. So let's just take that little thing out of this. And this is going to be like our little rolling block. Now, when you take the dough out of the refrigerator, it's going to be really, really cold, but you want it to be so that the butter keeps the dough nice and together. Otherwise, it would be melty and you can't really roll. So, but you can use your hands a little bit to soften it up so that it's rollable. Now, we're gonna take our flour and we're gonna put just a little bit on the silpat. And we're gonna take, we're not gonna roll all this at one time because it gets unwieldy. So we're just gonna take like maybe a third of it off at a time. And we're gonna put it back into our patty. And with the little,
That's how to make it a patty.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Okay, now, when you roll, if you try to think about these as north, south, east, and west, you kind of roll over on the east. Just, you don't go all the way like that, but you just angle a little bit on that side. Then you turn it over and roll on the other corner. And this kind of keeps your dough in a circle. And you roll on the other corner. And then you have to remember which corner you haven't rolled on and roll on that one.
I've seen some people take flour and they put it on the rolling pin.
Yes, that's also a way to do it too. And now they make rolling pins that are clear and they have ice in them. You put ice into it and it keeps your dough the same temperature the whole time. I know, right? Welcome to technology, right?
But you still need the flour.
Yes, you still need the flour because the flour keeps it from sticking to the surface that you're working on.
Right.
Okay, so then you just kind of make your little circle. It doesn't have to be perfect because all we're going to be doing is just cutting out shapes. Okay, so now we have a nice piece of dough that is evenly rolled. It's not too bumpy in one space or too thin in another. You can sort of see through it a little bit, which is good because that means you're going to have a nice thin dough and not like, you don't want everything to taste like the dough. You want to be able to taste the filling too. So then you take your little cutter, and you can make this any size you want, smaller, larger, and you give it a little twist, and then it sort of falls right out of the mold. And if it doesn't fall out, just go like this. Okay, wanna try? Got it?
Absolutely.
All right.
Mine are not even.
Well, twist it. Twist your little thing and drop. When you do push it down, just give a little twist. There you go. And it's okay if it doesn't come out because we can lift it out ourselves.
I want to see probably Levenberg actually can make them go up or not. It's a challenge if you will.
Twist.
Give it a little tiny twist. And it's okay, don't worry. It's a technique, you know, and you might get that in another 3 or 4 years, so don't worry. It has to be
It means that
perfected.
we have to keep coming.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Absolutely. Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. It's all good. All good. Now, what we're going to do is just use a little knife, and we're going to pick up our little circles and just move them off to the side. And you can, and you also
We'll
really
start
can.
again with the.
And we'll start again with the next one. And you can just sort of move the dough off this way, or you can pick each one up and move it whichever way you like best, okay? So we'll start with a couple of these. And it's okay if they have a little tear in them because all you gotta do is just pat it and it should be just fine. Okay, now I'm gonna show you a couple of little types of shapes that we can make. So where's our potatoes? Right here. Okay. Now we're just going to take a tiny little bit.
We hit them all. we keep trying even. It's gone now.
So you're just going to take a little small amount because as much as you want to put in there, you can't because it's a teeny little item. So we'll take the little circle, and for this particular one, we're going to hold it like this and try to cover the dough as much as you can, and then use these fingers and just pinch really lightly. Again, very lightly because you don't want to pinch it to death, and then it will become too hard. So you can fix it a little bit if you've got a little tear in it, and there you go. So that's one. I'm going to sit those over there on that little guy. And
Now I understand why you call it empanadas, because you're actually giving it that shape.
That shape, yes.
I grew up with one that was actually more like a square, and on top has like, the pinching was on the top, but you have more.
Yes, we can do.
More dough than that,
We can do that type too. So you guys each want to try.
I grew up with them like a little square.
Right, it was square and on the top,
Okay, so
Still bite size.
your turn.
And four.
Yeah.
Okay, your turn. All right, just put a little dough in yours and see what you can do.
Looking, I'm more.
Just go together. Yes, go together. And you want to put a lot of dough in, a lot of potato, but you'll see you can't.
This much?
Yeah, try it. Put it down and look at it and see what you think. Put it onto your dough, and then if you think it's the right amount, that looks just right. Perfect. Yes.
A little.
Just maybe a titch more, tiny titch more.
And then I take it in my hand.
Take it up, yeah.
With a knife, right?
If it's sticking, then you can. If not, you can pick it up straight ahead.
Okay.
You need the knife to get underneath, and you got it.
Fold it in half.
Yeah, fold it in half and try to cover the dough while you're working. There you go. Poke it in and get that little green onion out of the way.
I want to keep it in though.
Oh, keep it in. Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
I chose this one because of the green onion.
I thought so. And then you just pinch it a little bit around the edges, and there you have it.
I think I made in a little bit more dough to keep that green onion in.
Well, you just pinch around it. Pinch the dough up and over. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now that you got that shape, we'll have to try another one. Now we're going to try another shape.
Yes, but mine has a green onion.
Okay. Now we're going to fix this one a little bit. Now we're going to do a little three-cornered story.
Okay.
So we're going to put this dough right in the center.
Should we put some jelly filling?
Yeah, similar to
Chocolate.
that. That's right. Okay, now I'm sure you all have made Hamantash before.
Yes.
Okay.
No, we have eaten them.
You've
before.
eaten it. Okay, so what you do is you just close it in like that, and then push the other side up. And in this case, you're going to see the potato while it's
Nice.
baked.
Love it.
Okay, do you want to try that?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's another circle for each of you, and there you go.
So this will have a little more filling, right?
It might, yes, because it can stick out, but you don't want it too big because then otherwise it'll just burst and it won't look that pretty.
Right. Yeah, I'm just trying to put some green
Yes, just
so you can see not only the
at the
potato,
top,
but
the green on the top, the
Right.
aesthetic
You
view.
all about pretty. Nice.
no.
Okay,
It's-
so push.
We're celebrating soon the spring coming, so I think that calls for some green here.
Yes. Good job.
Just want you to have a good look at this.
It's a perfect one.
That is beautiful.
Very nice. Yes, very attractive. Oh, very nice.
Mine is like, it's ugly little cousin.
I will eat it happily. I mean,
No problem, right? Okay, so we'll put that on our board, and then we'll make one more shape. Okay, now this is a fun shape because it's simple, and if all else fails, this is a good shape. So we'll put our dough in the center, our mix in the center, and we're just gonna pick this up. We're gonna bring all ends in. So you're just gonna fold it in like this, fold it in like this, fold it in like this, and
That's
it just
what I remember.
kind of makes just a cute little guy. And that's all there is to it. Well, first of all, really what I want to do is to clean this off a little bit and use it for the bottom of our pan. I could have brought up 2, but I didn't, so we'll just do it like this for now.
A lot of mix left over.
Well, that's going to be lunch. You can have some for lunch right away. Right away. Or we'll make some empanadas and we'll send them home. Okay. I'll just turn it over. All right, so let's just pick this up here. And we'll put our treasures on top. Okay. Very good. And then we're going to take this oil with our brush and very lightly we're going to coat the top so that it has a little moisture while it's baking.
And
then
also color, I love this. I mean, I love the painting.
Yeah, the painting is good. There you go. And then I'll have some sesame seeds that we'll sprinkle over the top.
You're not how to paint. You really know how to paint.
I'm not sure what I did with the sesame seeds. So now you can take your little spoon and put some little sesame seeds on the tops. Proceed.
Oh, an excellent pose.
Okay, all good. Now we're going to put them in the oven. Okay, so we got our oven up to 350 degrees. We're going to put them right in the center.
How long does it usually take to cook these?
About 20 or 25 minutes. They're going to get brown and golden, and every oven's a little different. So
And you don't put them in until you are at 350, or you can just...
you can preheat the oven ahead of time to 350 is a good idea. So now we're going to go to the oven because I've already cooked some for you all to taste and to enjoy, and they're nice and golden brown, and we're going to have a little row with it. So go.
Wow, they look really good.
Thank you.
Beautifully pinched and everything.
Well, I tried. Okay, so now you see that when the potato gets nice and golden like this, it's definitely finished. And you can also look on the bottom and see if it's nice and brown and they're finished that way. And it's okay that the potato comes out a little bit, and it's okay that the shape is a little bit rough. And really, they're not as small as you really think they would have been by the circle that we made. They have like a little puff to it.
Yeah, okay.
So if you'd like to try one, please do.
It's difficult to
decide which one. I understand.
Which shape do you want?
I know, I know.
Well, I figure we have to make it through all of them.
Yes, totally. They're really good.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, and now you've successfully passed Knish's.
Nice. Very airy inside. I mean,
Yes,
it's like-
the potato with the cheese in it gives that expands a little bit, which is nice. And plus, not a lot of dough is necessary. There's some recipes where you wrap them, like in a jelly roll, over and over and over with the dough. But you don't really need to eat all that dough. You want to taste the filling. You could do spinach, you could do mushroom, you could do meat. Anything that you like is anything you have left over. Even how you have leftover stuff from mushrooms or something like that. Put it in.